Yes, it's another exciting class on mathematics. Today we shall be treating a very interesting topic, perimeter of shapes. In today's class we shall be treating a very interesting shape, a circle. Now you may want to ask yourself, what is a circle? Now I want you to take up your writing material as we explore what a circle is all about. Right before us are objects in a circular form. We have a coin, we have a compact disc. This object reminds us of how a circle look like. Now I want you to look around yourselves, try and figure out different objects that are in a circular form, and quickly, if I may ask a question, is a ball circular in shape? You've seen a ball before. When you discover that a ball is round, but if I am meant to draw a ball, I should be able to show all the sides of a ball. So therefore, a ball is not a circle, because a ball is a sphere with three-dimensional shape and occupies space. But a circle is a two-dimensional shape. Two-dimensional shape in the sense that I could just draw a circle on a plain surface like paper, showing only one face, because two-dimensional shapes have one face. But remember, a ball does not have only one face. A ball is a sphere. Now, this will take us to other diagrams that reminds us of a circle. We have a bicycle, we have a tricycle. The bicycle wheel and the tricycle wheel are in the form of a circle. So I could represent them using a circle. But note, circles are different in sizes. You can see the tractor. The wheel at the back is bigger than the wheel at the front. Now, how is it possible for circles to have different sizes? This is because the distance from the middle of the circle to any part of the circle differs in sizes. For example, two pupils decided to take a meter rule, one at the middle while the other tried to move the meter rule around to form a circle. The female at the middle is at a fixed point, while the boy moves this meter rule around, and here he has formed a circle. This circle is of this size because of the distance between the boy and the girl. Although they weren't pleased because they wanted to form a bigger circle, they tried again but couldn't. Now they have to remember that to form a bigger circle, they need a greater length of a meter rule. That's scientific. Now they've gotten it. They extended the length of their meter rule. The female still at the middle while the boy moves around with a meter rule, and he formed a bigger circle. Remember, one must be at a fixed point for you to have a complete circle. And congratulations, they rejoice. You may want to practice this experiment at home. Remember that to make a bigger circle, your length from the middle to the part of the circle or the wall of the circle must be longer. The middle at which the pupils stayed is called the center of the circle. Therefore, a circle must have a definite center. And now, from the middle of the circle to the wall of the circle gives us a line called radius. However you draw it, from the center of the circle to any part of the circle will give you a line called radius. We have radius OZ, radius OY, radius OX. Despite they are drawn at different directions, they are of the same size. So radius in a particular circle are of the same size no matter the direction from the center to the wall of the circle. Now, look at your bicycle. You discover that each spoke in your bicycle is the radius of your bicycle wheel, because they come from the middle of your bicycle wheel to any part of the bicycle wheel. And if you check carefully, you discover that all the spokes are of the same size and the same length. So therefore, no matter the direction of the radius, they are always the same length. I guess you are having it interesting with this class. Now, if I increase my radius, it means I'm going to get a bigger circle. And that is why the wheel of a tractor is larger and bigger than the wheel of a bicycle. Now there is a line we call chord. This line cut a circle into two halves that is not equal, because this line does not cut across the middle of a circle. So a line that comes from one part of the circle to any part of the circle without passing through the middle of the circle is called a chord. There are other terms and lines in a circle. Before I tell you that, I want to ask you a question. Is radius a chord? No. The radius is a line that comes from the center of the circle to any part of the circle. But a chord is a line that comes from a part of the circle to another part of the circle, dividing the circle into two halves that are not equal. Now other lines in a circle, if I increase my radius, I double my radius from the middle to one part and from the middle to the other part in a straight direction, I will get another line, which is very, very important for us to note. And what is this line called? You may want to ask. This line is called a diameter. A diameter is 2 times a radius, or is a chord that passes through the center of the circle. It moves from one point of the circle through the center of the circle to the other point of the circle, which means for every diameter you see, we have 2 radii. So diameter equals to 2 times radius. Now, if we have diameter, to get your radius, it means we are going to divide our diameter by 2 to get our radius, because in a diameter we have 2 radius or 2 radii. Now, the distance around the circle is the circumference of the circle, which is our main focus of this class. The distance around the circle is the circumference of the circle. You can see the dotted line painted red around the circle is the circumference of the circle. So when I move around a round object, I've moved a circumference. To recap my teaching so far, a circle is made up of points on a given plane or surface that are at equal distance from the fixed points. So a circle must have a fixed point. Okay. Now, what else did we learn? We learned about a radius. A radius is a line that comes from the middle of the circle to any point on the circle. Or I would say a radius is a line that comes from the middle of the circle to any point on the circumference of a circle. Now, a chord. A chord is a line that divides a circle into 2 halves that are not equal. So it comes from one part of the circumference to the other part of the circumference without passing through the middle. What is the circumference of a circle? All around the circle is the circumference of a circle. The line passing through the curve of the circle painted red is the circumference of the circle. Diameter. A diameter is 2 times radius. So therefore, in a diameter, we have 2 radii. A diameter passes from the point of a circumference through the middle to another part of a circumference. What an interesting class. I know you are finding it interesting. We still have lots to learn. We have a pizza, and you are about to eat a pizza, and I ask you, what is the circumference of the pizza? Now note, for a diameter of this pizza, my diameter can move around my pizza 3 times, leaving a little gap. That gap in mathematics is what we call pi. And pi is a constant 3.14. Hence, for me to move my diameter around a complete circle, I can move it 3 times, leaving a small gap. That gap is my pi. Therefore, circumference of a circle is equals to 2 pi r. We call it circumference. C is circumference and pi is 3.14, remember. And our arrow is radius. Now if you have a pizza with diameter 12 centimeter or 12 inches, now to get our radius, divide diameter by 2, you get 6. So let's solve for the circumference of this pizza. 2 times pi, which is 3.14. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Move your point down. Multiply by the radius we got, which is 6 inches. 6 times 8 is 48. Put down 8, carry 4. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 4, 16. Put down 6, carry 1. 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 1, 37. And put your point down. So approximately the circumference of your pizza is 38 inches. So when you eat a pizza with a diameter 12 inches, you have eaten a pizza of circumference 38 inches. And guess, your tummy is going to protrude. Funny anyway. Now we are going to move on using the earth as a case study. If I want to move around the earth, let's say the diameter of the earth is 8,000 miles, and I want to move around the earth. It therefore means I can move my diameter 3 times. Remember, there's a little gap, but let's leave this little gap and multiply our diameter by 3. When you multiply it by 3, you're going to get 24,000. So approximately I can move around the earth over 24,000 miles. Now let's be scientific and let's solve using the formula. Circumference equals to 2 pi r. Remember, our diameter was 8,000 miles. To get our radius, you divide your diameter by 2. So you have 4,000 miles. Then 2 times 3.14 will give us 6.28. Multiplying 6.28 by 4,000, we are going to solve it together. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 again is 0. So 6 times 4 will give us 24. And when you sum, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 2 plus 0, 2, 1 plus 4, 5, and 2. So therefore, when you move your decimal downward, you have 25,200 as the circumference to move around the. Quickly, a quick recap on the formula for the perimeter of a circle. Remember, that the perimeter of a circle also mean the circumference of a circle. Now we have 2 pi arrow or pi d. Now 2 pi arrow, as we earlier known, is used when the radius of a circle is given, and we have another formula now, pi d, when the diameter is given. This means 2 times pi times radius, as we've earlier used to solve. And remember, I said that pi is a constant and it is usually denoted as 3.14. Also, in case you don't want to use the decimal number as your constant, we also have a fraction. So our pi is either 3.14 or 22/7. So 2 pi arrow is used for solving when the radius of a circle is given. The pi d, pi times diameter, remember our pi is 22/7 or 3.14 as earlier used. This formula is used when diameter is given. Now we have a question before us, and the question says that we should find the perimeter of the circle below. Now you can see that what we have is a diameter. So what formula are we going to use? We are going to be using pi d. So we solve. Now remember that perimeter equals to pi d, and our pi is 22/7, which is a constant. Now diameter is 7 centimeters as given in the diagram, so therefore we have perimeter equal to 22/7 times 7. Here you cross divide. 7 cancels 7, leaves 22 behind. So therefore our perimeter equals to 22 centimeters. You can see, so simple. Now we move on to our next question, which says find the perimeter of the circle. This time we are giving radius. Remember, radius is a line that comes from the middle of the circle to any part of the circumference. Now if you are giving radius, it therefore means you are going to use the formula 2 pi arrow. So solving perimeter is equals to 2 pi arrow. Our pi is 22/7. Remember, I told you I'm going to be using 22/7 so that we can know how to use 22/7 and also how to use 3.14. Now radius, remember, it was 14 centimeters. Therefore perimeter equals to 2 times pi, which is 22/7, times 14. When you cross divide, 7 divides 14 will give you 2. So therefore we have 2 times 22, 44. 44 times 2 will give you 88. So we have 88 centimeters. You can see, very simple. And I want you to write out these solvings so that you can go over it before you play your fun game and upload your assignments. Now the example we are going to be treating now, remember that every time you look for perimeter of a circle, at times you may be asked to find a radius or a diameter. Now in this question we are told to find the radius when the circumference was given as 44 centimeters. You can see, you can read, if the circumference of a flat circular biscuit is 44 centimeters, given pi as 22/7, find the radius of the biscuit. Now we're going to look for radius when we have circumference. So circumference is 44 centimeter. Remember. So since we have radius, we are going to be solving using 2 pi arrow. So remember, our circumference is 44 centimeter and our pi is 22/7, which is our constant. So therefore, radius is unknown. We are looking for radius. Now what do? You apply the formula. Our formula is perimeter of circle equals to 2 times 22/7 times arrow. 2 times pi times arrow, which is radius. So when you have circumference of a circle, you put your 44. Okay. Now, if we want to cross divide, it's not possible. 7 divided 22 is going to give us a decimal number. 7 divided 2 is going to give us a decimal number. So what we do, we are going to multiply all the numerators. Okay, are we ready? So multiply all the numerators in the right hand side of the equation. So 2 times 22 is 44. 44 times arrow is 44 arrow. So we have 44 arrow equals to 7. Now, in this question, what do? Remember, I always tell you that when you have two figures separated by equals to, especially when they are fractions, you do what we call cross multiply. So before we cross multiply, we make 44 a fraction by putting over 1. Then we cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you have 1 times 44 will give you 44 arrow. 1 times 44 arrow is 44 arrow, while 7 times 44 is 308. You can see. So now we want our radius, because we are looking for radius. So therefore, we are going to be dividing both sides by the number close to radius, so that radius can stand alone. So you divide both sides by 44. When you divide both sides by 44, this is exactly what you will get. 44 cancel 44 will leave my radius standing. While 44 cancel 308 will give me radius at 7. So my radius standing alone become radius equals to 7 centimeter. You can see. Remember, when you are looking for the unknown alphabet and a number is standing close to it, you divide both sides by the number close to that alphabet. Then your alphabet can stand alone. That's how we got arrow. Then when you divide 44 into 308, you get 7. So our radius for this problem is 7 centimeter. It has been fantastic time with you. I know you have grasped all my teachings, you've digested them, you've understood. Now I want you to go over all the lectures again, then go over to your phone game, play your phone game. Thereafter, go for your assignments, download the PDF, solve on a plain sheet, and upload for me. Remember, in camp, every aspect of mathematics is always touched. We can't leave an inch behind. Till we meet again next time, I promise you our next class is going to be more interesting. Bye for now.